going on, Jerome's? So allegedly, there's some other games that took place week 13 besides the Vikings' roaring comeback against the Arizona Cardinals, 23-22. So picking and grinning, driving around. Does it feel like Thanksgiving was like a month ago? That's how Thursday games feel. But the Bears, the game that ultimately got Eberflus fired. Yeah. How can you just give that game away? Just ridiculous clock management. Yeah, part of that's on Caleb, but part of that's on coaching. Major part of that is on coaching. So Eberflus is gone. And also Thomas Brown, who was literally the Bears passing game coordinator like 3 weeks ago, went from OC, now interim head coach. Hopefully he does something, man. Then you got the Giants and the Cowboys. I don't know, man. When you think that you've reached the bottom with the Giants, the bottom is just bottomless. And the Cowboys, I know that Micah Parsons says that they're going to make a run at things. Don't know. Cooper Rush actually looks like he settled in. It's almost like it's 2021 again, and he's leading the Cowboys to wins over the Vikings. Who knew, man? Who knew? Then you got the Dolphins and the Packers. Whatever. All right, so Jordan Love. I still don't know what to make of Jordan Love. Like, he will lead the league in interceptions, but then he'll make some insane bat bleep plays. It's a little bit like early career Josh Allen. So, and Green Bay, I mean, respect. I mean, 9-3 is what it is, and the running game looks like it's starting to get going a little bit. Defensively, they do have some nice pieces there as well. But for the Dolphins, I mean, Jonnu Smith going off, Acham becoming the best receiving running back in the game. Tua put up numbers, but I don't know. Like, can they really not win under 50 degrees? It's insane. But, yeah, the Packers, even though they have some talent, they're just tiptoeing through the tulips. Oh, congratulations on beating the Niners with Brandon Allen. Didn't even have to face the Passionate, which is just so stupid. And they got the Raiders and the Chiefs. I feel bad for the Raiders, man. I mean, the Raiders fought and clawed in this game. Aiden O'Connell fighting through that broken thumb. And Brock Bowers looking like a generational tight end as a rookie. Daniel Carlson shanking all those field goals. But at the end, you had the ball. You had a chance to win. And the officiating snafu. Now, you could say one thing that, hey, the rules are the rules, but it just feels like that it's always thumb on the scale in the Chiefs' favor, right? And the fact that one ref was coming in, calling a false start, blowing the play dead, which if there's a whistle, that should be it. Right, but then all of a sudden, the Raiders O-lineman just stand up after JPJ, Jackson Powers-Johnson, snapped the ball too soon, and it was a fumble, and everyone just stood there except for the Chiefs, who jumped on the ball, and then all of a sudden it's like, illegal shift, since no one was technically set. It's just, you don't want to think that the league is rigged, but when everything goes in the Chiefs' favor, just so stupid, right? And I know that people want to say the 10-2 Vikings are fraudulent. Give me the 11-1 Chiefs in terms of a fraud off, yeah, or something like that. But the Chiefs, respect the rings. 3 Super Bowls in 5 years, can't sneeze at that, but they certainly get helped as well. Also helping is our store, the gear, Purple for the Win gear. Final day today, 15% off everything. If you use promo code Friday. Producer Al would absolutely love it. Get the gear, and if you order by today, I believe it's guaranteed shipment in the continental United States before Christmas. So there you go. Hit that up. Sunday games. Chargers and the Falcons. So Kirk Cousins throwing 4 interceptions, including a pick 6. And it's great that he took blame for the loss. So your quarterback throws 4 interceptions. Your defense rocks out all day, only allows 9 points to the Chargers, gets after Justin Herbert, and you lose by 4. Including a pick 6, which was the Chargers' only touchdown. Yeah, it is a little bit on the quarterback, but I don't know. Like, Atlanta seems listless at this point. I mean, they're 6-6. I like Raheem Morris. The defense looks legit in spots. Offensively, they got all the weapons in the world, but you could just tell Kurt's arm strength is just not there. And he did have some nice games early in the season, but it's fading fast. And we see them at historic U.S. Bank Stadium on Sunday. For the Chargers, I like the Chargers a lot. I mean, they're 8-4. Harbaugh's got them playing some tough football. They do have a couple of injuries. We'll see what happens with McConkey. But Steelers and the Bengals, nice little shootout there in the Queen City. Russell Wilson. So maybe it's just that Russ and stupid-ass Sean Payton didn't work well together. Because apart, things are actually panning out pretty good. But But the Steelers, they guarantee Mike Tomlin yet another winning season at 9-3, which is awesome. Tomlin is a generational leader, a true leader, man. I love it. And the Bengals, you feel really bad for the Bengals because offensively they're putting up points, but defensively they just can't get it done. Offensive line also is failing them, but you knew that this was going to happen, right? That's why when you drafted Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell, like you knew that Joe Burrow was just still going to get hammered. But the scoop and score, Peyton Wilson, rookie linebacker from NC State for the Steelers was looking really good. TJ with the strip sack as well. I mean, it's rough. It's really rough for the Bengals, and they may have to rethink things. I mean, they're 4-8. Do they tag and trade Higgins and or Jamar Chase? Do they finally get that done? Or I don't know. Like, honestly, Burrow's a stud, but I think at this point it's more important to protect him than give him his weapons, especially since there will be a market for both of them. So we'll see. Vikings, we've talked about ad nauseum. I mean, the Cardinals are a good-ass football team, and they had the Vikings in the blender throughout most of the day, but a tough team dug deep, and they came back, slinging Sam Darnold, looking like an all-pro there at the end yet again. Second consecutive game-winning drive. Jefferson with some big catches. Same thing with Addison. Aaron Jones' redemption song, catching the game-winning touchdown. It's awesome, man. Love it. Defensively stepping on up. Gilly calling game. Love it. Colts getting a 1-point win on the road against the Patriots. Patriots had a shot at the end, missed the field goal. And I don't know, like the Colts, they have some interesting pieces, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to buy into them. Like Anthony Richardson is hero there. Jonathan Taylor-Thomas had himself a good game, caught a touchdown as well. Of course, he got Buckner on defense. So, I mean, the Colts can be interesting. Yeah. Patriots-wise, they're 3-10, and the defense has gotten significantly worse since Belichick left. Drake May is the future, but he still makes a lot of mistakes. And I don't think that they'll do Gerard Mayo wrong. I think they'll give him another year no matter what, but that would be the perfect spot for Flores. Take Flores, and then he takes Josh McCown to be his OC, working with Drake May. That would make the most sense. Seattle. Seattle gets it done against the Jets, and the first half, the Jets were looking really good. I mean, they scored 21, they had the lead, and they just got blanked the rest of the way. And Geno, never say die. And the Seahawks defense, Leonard Williams with the random pick six where he tipped it to himself, big man touchdown. I love it. I love it, man. And everything is just trolling the Giants, where all the former Giants, whether it's Saquon, Leonard Williams, Xavier McKinney and company, like everyone's doing good. Those makes me feel good about Daniel Jones as the Vikings quarterback for. And Seattle, like I don't know, like what Seattle team are we going to see when we go out there in a couple weeks? Don't know, don't care. Going to win. They got the commies just putting the bank thing on the Titans early and often. And see, this is the early season Commanders team that we saw when they were 7-2. Then they lost 3 games in a row, but they're very explosive offense. Props to Cliff Kingsbury. Jaden Daniels is the truth. Brian Robinson Jr. I think is super underrated. Scary Terry's getting it going too. It's pretty damn good, man. And then in garbage time, Levis threw 2 touchdowns, but I don't think that he's the future. And the spots that make sense for Darnold, Tennessee and the Rams. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Texans outlast the Jaguars. So this game got chippy early and often. So Azeez Al-Shaair, massive dirty hit on Trevor Lawrence as he was sliding, just hit him right in the head. And Trevor Lawrence sounds like he's going to be okay. But, yeah, I mean, this game was certainly chippy. But the Texans were in control throughout most of the game. Jaguars had a late push. Brian Thomas Jr. caught a touchdown from Mac Jones. But I don't know. Like the Texans team, it just feels like it's lacking something. And I don't know if it's Stephon Diggs. I don't know what it is. But Nico's back. Mixon had a good game. Stroud didn't look like ass at times. So I don't know. But, yeah, that hit from Algiers was completely unnecessary. And he does have a reputation. So I wouldn't be shocked if he's suspended for the rest of the year, and frankly, rightfully so. The Rams get it done late on the road against the Saints to move to 6-6. And the Rams, I don't know, like the Rams certainly are a bit of a hot and cold team, but the stars really showed up. Puka with that game-winning touchdown, which is fantastic. And the Saints, Yeah, Saints are completely donezo, playing out the string, playing for interim head coach. And also, who would want this job? You have Cap Hill, you're tethered to Derek Carr. You don't have good ownership. You don't have a good GM. But other than that, it's one of the 32 jobs. Then you got the Buccaneers in overtime against the Panthers. So this is the second week in a row where the Panthers just got upended at the end by a field goal. But I mean, the Panthers came back feeling with some heroics. Bryce Young's looking really Bryce Young, I think, is going to be the future in Carolina. That benching actually really did him good, and he and Canlis, can be synced up together. And Adam Thielen also had he caught a touchdown, did the gritty, and then the Bucks and Baker came down to kick the field goal, forced overtime, and then the Panthers fumbled, and then the Bucks kicked another field goal. So they stay viable at 6-6. I think that they will take the NFC South away from the Falcons, but yeah, we'll see. And then the game of the week in the late window, the Eagles and the Ravens. This score was a lot more one-sided, but of course, who doesn't love garbage time? Just to make the box score a little bit better looking. But yeah, Lamar to Isaiah Likely. Hey, remember when everyone was in on Isaiah Likely after week 1 in fantasy? It's funny, but the Eagles are going to be tough, man. Like, the defense is certainly getting things together. You see Cooper DeJean tackling Derrick Henry. I mean, the Packers could have had Cooper DeJean, and they would have had a white cornerback that they would have loved, and you could just hear those jabronis yelling, Coop. But no, they passed up on him for a tackle. Jordan Morgan. But the Eagles are churning, man. Going out on the road against Baltimore, that's a big-time win. They are 10-2. Hurts is hot and cold. Also, they did this without Devontae Smith. Saquon, busted off a big touchdown run as well. So, yeah. And then, Sunday Night Football, Bills just lambasted the 49ers. And the Niners are dealing with a lot of injuries. Plus, it looks like they just lost McCaffrey for the rest of the year with a PCL injury. But, I mean, the Bills look looking like a juggernaut, man. James Dalvin Cook. Yeah. So it's James Dalvin Cook and then Dalvin James Cook. I think that's awesome. James Dalvin busted out a long touchdown run. Josh Allen, so he threw for a touchdown. He ran for a touchdown. Also, he got credit for a receiving touchdown that he threw off of a lateral. So, guys got it all, man. Like, he's got a gorgeous and talented fiance, and then he just says he goes for the cycle for touchdowns. God. Then Monday Night Football, Browns Broncos. Who cares? That's my thoughts on that. But that is it. Let's take a look at Week 13 NFL recap. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skull production value.